Today we are celebrating the 13th anniversary of Scream 4. Let's get into it.
Certain rules. Push the laws and you end up dead.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Not in my movie.
Surprise, Sydney.
He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
A very simple formula.
You want to play psycho killer?
Everybody's a suspect.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I think it's gonna go something like this.
I'm Pamela, welcome back to my channel. So it's been 13 years since the release of Scream 4, which happens to be my favorite Scream sequel. It premiered in LA on April 11th and then was released in theaters on April 15th. I did a video a few months ago on why Scream 4 is the best Scream sequel. I know not everyone will agree. I feel like the fandom is pretty divided on this. I know there's a lot of people who don't like Scream 4 at all. There's a lot of people like me who love it. Then there's some people out there who are starting to come around to it. At the time when it came out, they didn't like it, but years later, it's growing on them. You know, it kind of has the nostalgia factor at this point. I think Scream 4 does the best job of recapturing the magic of the original movie. Scream 4 has great characters that I actually grew to care about, unlike some of the other sequels. I love the high school feel of it. It's the first Scream sequel where they're back in high school. At the time when it came out, I was already a big Emma Roberts fan as well as Hayden Panettiere, so that already made me love the movie. I definitely think Scream 4 has the most shocking reveal, after the original of course. I think Scream 4 was ahead of its time, and people weren't ready for it at the time. I just think Jill's motive was very much ahead of its time. Same goes for the part with Robbie Mercer. You know, he's live streaming his entire life, and he even says, someday everyone will be doing this. And he was right. But I did a couple polls about Scream 4 on my community page, and I'm gonna share the results with you guys and read some of your comments. So the first poll was, which Scream 4 Ghostface do you prefer, Charlie Walker or Jill Roberts? It got over 2,000 votes, and the winner was Jill Roberts. Most of you guys preferred Jill, which I'm not surprised. I knew it was gonna go that way. I have to say though, I do love Charlie. I love them both. I do think Charlie gets a lot of unnecessary hate. I think he was a great character, a great Ghostface. His reveal was good too. But let's get into some of these comments. This comment from CC Scream Edits says, Charlie did every Ghostface kill, so I prefer Charlie. Also, Jill was much too psychopathic. That's true. I think Charlie had all of the kills, minus the ones that we see Jill do unmasked. She obviously killed Trevor, and then Charlie. There is some debate about this. Some people think Jill killed her mom, but I don't think so. I think we have to pay attention to the wording that she says. She said, even my own mother had to die, rather than I even had to kill my own mom. She didn't say that. This comment from Charlie May 1042 says, unpopular opinion, but Charlie is probably one of my favorite Ghostfaces. Definitely top 5. He did all the heavy lifting and dirty work and is an overall pretty good Ghostface in my opinion. That being said, Jill was much more manipulative and ultimately a much more effective Ghostface in terms of persona and performance after the reveal. I definitely agree with you there. Like you said, he did all the dirty work and Jill was much more manipulative, which is very impressive on Jill's part, that she could convince Charlie to do everything for her to keep her hands as clean as possible. She did not want to get her hands dirty until she absolutely had to. Fodder Edit says, Charlie. Jill literally copied Billy and Stu's plan and Charlie did all the work. Mark Jones says, Jill and Stu are my favorite Ghostfaces. I would love to see them both return. You and me both, Mark. You guys know I think Stu's gonna come back. I would love to see Jill come back also. Not sure if they're gonna do that. Probably not. But it's technically possible because she wasn't shot in the head and that was the original plan. If they had done Scream 5 back in the day, Jill would have survived the events of Scream 4, and Scream 5 would have followed her going to college. with a new Ghostface stalking her. So who knows, maybe they'll want to honor that original plan. This comment from Liam says, Charlie was brutal and an underrated killer, but Jill is the best female Ghostface and shocking reveal alongside the iconic Billy and Stu, but can't beat the original. But Jill is my personal fave. Totally agree with you about Jill's shocking reveal and Charlie being underrated. This comment here says Jill might be my favorite Ghostface of the series. This comment from Edge439 says Jill, best Ghostface in the franchise. This comment from Savannah says, I love Jill's motive. However, I like Charlie better because of the work he put into doing almost all of it. Here are a few more comments from you guys. Yeah, so it's pretty divided. Although I do think Jill wins as far as everyone's favorite. Charlie definitely deserves a lot of love, and I like that you guys are recognizing that Charlie did most of the work. Now let's move on to the second poll I took. I asked you guys which Scream 4 Ghostface reveal did you prefer? And most of you voted for Jill, which I'm not surprised, but I am happy that Charlie got some votes because his is actually almost just as shocking. You might have suspected him more throughout the entire movie, but the reveal itself was pretty shocking. The way he was tied up just like Stephen Orth from the first movie, and Kirby, wins the trivia game on the phone with Ghostface, and she comes outside to save him, unties him, and then he just stabs her. That was pretty shocking. Nicholas said, the sheer shock when I watched Charlie dropping that line and stabbing Kirby in the stomach can never be replaced. I loved her and I genuinely thought she died there. I was numb from the shock for a good few minutes, which includes where Jill revealed herself. Exactly, that dialogue from Charlie and then stabbing Kirby is just great. This comment from Super Pro says, Charlie's reveal is better. Jill's reveal is good, but how Charlie makes Kirby think he is innocent, imitating Scream's opening kill is just so good. Also, Charlie has a better dialogue. Definitely agree with you there. This comment says, definitely Jill Roberts, probably the most shocking reveal and very personal for Sydney. This comment says, while Jill was more iconic for her craziness, Charlie was more of a shock, especially because I've always liked Kirby and don't want her hurt. Landon says, I love both, but Jill's was more iconic and shocking in my opinion. Kelly says, I absolutely love Jill's reveal. It's one of the best in the franchise. And her saying, hello Sydney, surprised, reminds me of my favorite Ghostface Stu saying, surprise Sydney. Yeah, I love that there's that little callback to Stu. This one's funny. Jill's reveal really caught me off guard. My first reaction was, not unfabulous. I loved that show growing up, so that's part of the reason why I was already a fan of Emma Roberts, because growing up, she was in a lot of movies and shows that I watched. Reagan says, you know who I pick, my girl Jill. I knew you would. Here are a few more comments from you guys. Yeah, so even though Jill won the poll, the comments are pretty divided, which I like. I like that both Jill and Charlie are appreciated. So that's it for today. Happy 13 years of Scream 4. I hope you guys rewatch it to celebrate because I know I will be watching it. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. Please also go follow me over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram where I post more Scream content. And I will see you guys in the next video.